The global aquaculture industry is increasing, yet it relies highly on the local aquatic environment. Innovative approaches are needed for sustainable aquaculture in order to overcome environmental obstacles. What is the key to achieving success in this field? Subscribe to our channel for more exciting videos and ring the bell icon to get notifications. Anywhere in the world, the use of cutting-edge technology and scientific knowledge may help produce marine aquaculture that is both affordable and sustainable. The definition of marine aquaculture is broad. It includes the raising or farming of a wide range of aquatic organisms such as numerous fish, seaweed, and invertebrate species. Increased marine space exploitation and impact on the marine environment will follow growth in any maritime sector. The same applies to aquaculture. Although each organism has different environmental needs, they all have one thing in common. They all are very reliant on the general aquatic environment. As a result, choosing the appropriate site for your project is essential. We require knowledge of the physical, chemical, and environmental factors throughout the entire sea area in order to choose the finest spots. These particulars are from 3D marine models. For instance, the environment at a fish farm must be appropriate for the species being raised there, and the water's oxygen level must be high. Sites for marine farms that have been carefully picked, like those that DHI has chosen in Europe, Asia, and Australia, offer ideal current conditions and a lot of water that is oxygen-rich. The farm sites provide effective output, low environmental impact, and healthy fish when combined with favorable temperature and salinity conditions. But those who gain from favorable conditions are not just the fish. The currents prevent organic material from building up at the seabed and dilute discharge nutrients. This contributes to bottom water that's rich in oxygen, which supports a high degree of biodiversity on the seafloor. A thoughtful site selection process based on cutting-edge model technology is not an expensive detour. It's a quick way to guarantee cost-effective and sustainable aquaculture output on a global scale. Fish and other aquatic animals are essential to the world's food security and nutrition, whether they are caught in the ocean or from inland sources like rivers and lakes or the ice sheets. Aquatic food production and distribution, however, face numerous difficulties. Overfishing and other unsustainable practices, unequal access to resources and markets, and the environmental effects of aquaculture food production must be effectively addressed in strategies to produce healthy, sustainable, and equitable food systems. By 2030, there'll be a further 15% growth in aquatic food production. Such expansion is required to supply a growing population with wholesome foods. In addition, it must be resilient to the effects of climate change while reducing harm to the environment, promoting social equality, and being economically, socially, and environmentally sustainable. We need to change our aquatic food systems to accomplish this. Understanding the status of global fisheries and aquaculture is necessary before we can successfully shift our aquatic food systems. So how do things currently appear when taken as a whole? In 2020, 214 million tons of fisheries and aquaculture products were produced, an all-time high. These included 178 million tons of aquatic animals and 36 million tons of algae. Compared to 2019, the output of aquatic animals increased by 0.2%, while it decreased by 0.6% from the previous record-setting production in 2018. Due to the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and other variables, capture fisheries decreased 4.4% in 2019 compared to 2018 and a further decrease of 2% in 2020. The total for 2020 is, however, very similar to the average annual production between 1995 and 2020, and capture fisheries are still generally stable. Aquaculture showed an increase over the last 2 years despite the reduction in capture fisheries, but at a slower annual rate. The outcome was that in 2020, 157 million tons of aquatic creatures were produced for direct human consumption, which was the second highest amount ever. Production from capture fisheries worldwide fell by 4% in 2020 to 90.3 million tons, compared to the average for the previous 3 years. The COVID-19 pandemic's disruption of fishing operations, China's continued decline in catch rates, down 10% in 2020 compared to the average of the previous 3 years, and a decline in naturally changing anchoveta catches are the most likely cause of the decline. In 2020, China, Indonesia, Peru, India, and the Russian Federation, the United States of America, and Vietnam made up nearly 49% of the world's total capture production. Anchoveta, 4.9 million tons caught, Alaska pollock, 3.5 million tons caught, and skipjack tuna, 2.8 million tons caught, were the top 3 species caught in 2020. 2020 saw a continuation of the global aquaculture industry's growth despite the COVID-19 pandemic's global spread. The production of aquatic organisms for human use was 87.5 million tons, 35.1 million tons of seaweed and other algae were grown for food and non-food purposes, and 700 tons of shell and pearl were produced for decorative purposes. The project intends to meet up to 70% of local demand in Egypt. When finished, it'll have 4,500 acres of sedimentation basins and 4,000 acres of aquaculture ponds. When Phase 2 is finished, the operation will include 700 ponds. Self-sufficiency will be ensured by a number of connected buildings: a fish processing factory, an ice plant, a feed plant, a packing plant, a veterinary and laboratory facility, and berthing facilities are among these components. The foundation for success will be set through superior construction. Keeping the ponds well supplied with fresh seawater will be essential to production, as water will continually evaporate from the ponds. This will help keep the fish healthy and growing and the facilities free of disease. The viability of this project will therefore depend heavily on the creation of the intake channel and canals for water supply and drainage. 3 layers make up the canal construction. Sand that has been compressed is first. Installing Solmax double-textured geomembrane follows. Concrete is added last. The distributor for Solmax in Egypt, El Masseria for Installation Company, provided 3 million M2 of black, 1 mm double-sided textured HDPE geomembrane following the Egyptian government's testing of the geosynthetics. The geosynthetics contribute to maintaining the environment, pond and canal systems' integrity. According to Jackson, the quality and quantity of water found in the ponds determines the quality and number of hatchlings, fish and shrimp that are harvested from aquaculture operations. As the cost of pumping and shipping clean water increases, so does the demand for secure water confinement. Fresh water volume consistency will be enhanced by the installation of a low permeability geomembrane in the canals. Additionally, it'll contain the waste being drained and stop groundwater-borne pollutants from getting into the systems of aquaculture ponds. The absence of chemicals or additives that could seep out, affect water quality, or endanger animal life is another advantage of Solmax HDPE geomembranes. Additionally, the textured surfaces of the geomembrane play a part in construction by enhancing concrete adhesion during placement and aiding in slope containment and stability through greater friction between the material and the soil. With 1.35 square kilometers of geosynthetics used in 2018, 1.8 square kilometers in 2019, and 0.3 square kilometers in 2020, the project was finished in 36 months. As a result of the project's timely completion and success, Solmax geomembranes were chosen for additional projects. Pressure is mounting on aquatic food webs. The world's population is increasing. Food production frequently degrades the ecosystem, and pressures like as COVID-19, biodiversity loss, and climate change are added. So what is the answer? The Blue Transformation Program presents a vision to promote equitable and sustainable growth as well as gender equality in order to boost the contribution of aquatic food systems to feeding the world's expanding population. The FAO is prepared to build capacity through Blue Transformation to optimize the contribution of aquatic food systems to food security, nutrition, and accessible health diets, assuring the accomplishment of these sustainable development goals. Aquaculture must develop responsibly over the next 10 years to meet the rising demand for aquatic foods while creating new or securing current sources of revenue and jobs. How, in your opinion, does this project benefit your nation? Let us know in the comment box below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon.